Hey everybody, Sharif here again from Canada Drive Away. I hope you're all doing well and having a beautiful day today. So today our topic would be right about I'm buying a used car today. Imagine yourself, you're gonna go see the dealership. There's a nice car that you saw online. It's a used car and you're interested. Okay, what should be the next step? First of all, number one, you have to make sure that you're comparing whatever you're buying from that specific dealership to other dealerships and also to private sale. Okay, you are always going to notice that the private sale are about $1,000 to $2,000 cheaper. Okay, sometimes it's only $500 cheaper. So that's just the first thing for you to know. Okay, any prices you see, not wholesale prices, these are retail prices. What you see online, they're all retail prices. Okay, guys, so let's get right into it. So I have an example today of negotiating this vehicle. Imagine yourself, you're at the dealership, you're wanting to buy this limited model year 2019. You're buying a it's a Camry, Toyota Camry, and there is no trade. Okay, the selling price is 33,099 Canadian dollars. That's the listed price or the retail price that's listed on the website. All right, so you went, you drove the car, you test drove it, you like it. Okay, now you're at the salesman desk negotiating, right? So this is what you'd be looking at, used car purchase agreement. First of all, they are going to show you some numbers, okay? They're going to say, okay, Mr. Customer, I'll give you three options, $1,000 cash down, 3,000, 5,000. And then they will show you different terms, right? So a 5-year, 5.5, and a 6-year. And the reason why they show this, because they're trying to close you at this. Okay, they're trying to close you at this. They're trying to sell you the car at this, so you don't negotiate with them. Of course, you're going with the mentality. I've watched Sharif Drive Away videos from the negotiation desk. I'm definitely negotiating. Woohoo! So, first of all, you need to familiarize yourself with the psychological game of this. I know I explained this. This is called a Foursquare, but I've explained this in a different video. So they're showing you here, okay, here's gonna be your, let's call it for now monthly. Always ask for monthly payment, guys. That's your payment, taxes in, fees in, warranty in, price of the car. Okay, that's all in. Now, remember, they still didn't show you the breakdown sheet. They're only showing you the numbers where this is the payments. Because, again, they're trying to sell you payments. That's what they focus on. During them selling you the payments, they're going to make you emotional about the car. Remember that. Make sure your emotionals are not triggered. Sometimes they'll ask you questions like, oh, how would you like to see this in your driveway? Do you imagine yourself seeing this car in your driveway? How would it look like for you to see this car in your driveway? When you meet your friends and you tell them that you bought a new car, how would that look like? What would you feel? Again, they're all trying to trigger emotional. Oh, this is the car you want, right? So if we get you the right deal, you're gonna buy it today, right? So you want to definitely ignore these questions. So going back to literally just ignore them. Look at the numbers, right? When you're looking at those numbers, first of all, before even start negotiating on these guys, ask them to bring you out a disclosure statement or a breakdown sheet. If they give you the runaround and they're like, yeah, so which payment you think will work for you? Let me present the numbers for you. So let them present the numbers. So here's what they're gonna say. They're like, okay, with $1,000 down on a 5-year term, you'll be looking at $505. Okay. Well, we don't know what this $500 will include, right? Here's what it will include, right? It would include paint protection, rust protection, 5-year warranty, $100,000, and then your next term is 5.5 years, paint protection and rust protection. Okay, sometimes they will add tires in the car, winter tires. Yeah, sometimes they do add winter tires. Okay, just so you guys know. All right, and then they'll be like, okay, well, here's the payment, Mr. Customer or Miss Customer. Your payment will be $404 with $1,000 down. Okay, with $1,000 down, and then there's the $3,000 option, $5,000 option too. Okay, so if you want to go with the higher down payment, that's going to be your payment. If you're going to go with more down payment, that's going to be your payment, right? And then you're thinking in your mind like, oh, this is getting cheaper. Okay, this is what your mind is telling you, right? Oh, like, oh, I really like this car. Oh, I love the AC. And then, during the payment, guys, they will tell you like, they'll try to take you away from the payment, right? They'll say like something like, if we agree on everything, do you plan on getting this car like next week? Because our, wash bay where we wash the cars, it's full and blah, and we don't have much space next week. Can you pick it the week after, or we'll try to squeeze you in? Those types of 80% of the time, this is false. This is just a fake urgency, So I'll tell you guys how to detect that. Okay, anyway, so back to the payment. So they're like, okay, so you're like, oh, it's too expensive. You tell them that, right? They're like, okay, so we'll show you the third option, right? We can get it to you with a safety certified, assuming you're buying a car that has been safetied, right? And a safety doesn't mean the car is mechanically sound. I'll explain that in a later video. So 72 months, 6 years, right? Okay, beautiful. You're like, oh, okay, this is getting better. This is getting cheaper. Oh, I can only pay what I want. And you're telling yourself psychologically, you're like, oh, I wanted to pay $380 a month, and oh, this cheaper. Oh my God, that's great. And then you completely forgot about asking for the breakdown sheet, right? This is how they suck you in. It's like a vacuum, guys. And then the salesperson is trying to literally like pull you into their vacuum, like like I swear to God, like this is what they're trying to do, right? It's all psychologically. And then you're like, oh, but okay, so now it's time for you to say, bring me the breakdown sheet. Okay, so they bring the breakdown sheet for you, and then here are some questions. I will be uploading this in the comments for you guys. That way you know what questions to ask as well. So this will definitely be a great resource for you. Again, this is all insider information, right? I've used to work in dealerships for over 6 years. So these are all things that would definitely help you save money and time, or try to get the best deal possible, right? That is the goal here, folks. Okay, so the breakdown sheet. Here's what a breakdown sheet would kind of look like. This is just simple form. So the selling price of the vehicle, the admin fee of the dealership. Some dealership will add a reconditioning fee. Some don't. Depends on the province. Under the all-in pricing, this should not be here. This should be in the price of the vehicle. Extended warranty, that's the price. Rim and tire warranty, rust protection, interest rate 8.99. Okay. Now, again, two things. Make sure you check your credit score beforehand, before you go into a dealership, and you're checking around for what the interest rates are. And if you have a line of credit that you have a better rate on, and then that's your taxes. And that's the financed amount. Okay. The finance amount, that's without the interest. After the interest of a 7-year loan or a 6-year loan or a 5-year loan, it should be a higher amount. Literally, right? So after interest amount, you probably would be looking at $45,000, $45,500. Okay, guys. So in the 4th year, you're probably going to get bored of the car and just trade it in. And this is when you're going to have negative equity. So let me explain that. I'll explain that in a later video. All right, guys. So first of all, the question. So like I said, back to the square sheet. Okay. You need to have both the square sheet or the worksheet that show you different payment for different terms. You need to have it by the side of it. Like you need to have the breakdown sheet on the side, on the right side or left side, whatever, right? So now, when you're comparing, again, you want to negotiate off here, okay? So here's how you're going to start to negotiate. You'll be, oh, okay, so $33,999. Well, I do like the car here, because this is what you're going to say to the salesperson. I do like the red I like the car, but there is a different dealership, and you can pull a dealership on your website, or make sure you are prepared before even going to a dealership where you have couple of cars, the same car like you're buying. Make sure you have like a, let's say, a Facebook Marketplace advertisement, a Kijiji advertisement, and an Auto Trader, right? And another app where it shows you an ad for a vehicle that's similar to your vehicle, right? Maybe the mileage is going to be a little bit lower, a little bit higher, maybe 10,000 lower or 10,000 higher in terms of mileage. Who cares, right? And then you're like, okay, I'm looking at comparisons. Here is my offer. And then they would usually ask you for a credit card. That's what they do here in Canada. They would ask a credit card so they can take that and present it to their managers, right? So they'll be like, okay, so what's your offer, Mr. Customer? So you're making an offer based on this, not based on this. Remember, you're not making an offer on the payments. You're making an offer on the breakdown sheet, guys, okay? So what you would be saying, okay, so my offer on the selling price, offer 32,100. Okay, hypothetically speaking. Admin fee, you can't really negotiate the admin fee, but you can still make an offer on the admin fee, right? You can say 700. Recon fee, if you're in Ontario, tell them 0. This should be in your selling price as per the OMVIC or whatever province you're in. Just make sure you know the laws beforehand. And then extended warranty. Okay. The extended warranty would be something to be discussed with the finance manager. A salesman usually will not present that. When a salesperson present the warranty, guys, that means that salesperson, it's an indication that salesperson been doing this job for a while. Okay, because they want to also sell you the warranty. Okay, they're trying to basically save time for their finance office. Okay, they're trying to sell you this from their side. Of course, the finance manager is going to also offer that. All right, so you need to, if you're buying a used car, depends, how old is the car. Well, the car that we have here, guys, it's a 2019 Camry. I mean, how often does a well-maintained Camry, right? How often does this vehicle break down? So if you want to buy, like, let's say if you're going to own it for only 3 years, maybe try to negotiate, make an offer, 3 years, 60,000 kilometers. Hypothetically speaking, okay? For, whatever, negotiate that for $1,000, okay? Rim and tire warranty, please remove that. Rust protection, please remove that. Like, we can outsource these things easy outside. Interest rate, know your interest rate, right? This would be a conversation with the finance manager, but you would tell them, okay, I think, your rate is high. They're going to tell you, oh, this is just a hypothetical rate. We have to pull your credit. Again, the more knowledgeable you are, the more confident, the more educated, you'll say, you know what? I'm able to get a better interest rate on my line of credit. Okay, if you guys can match it, I'll go with your financing. Okay, so try to offer the rate that you have on your loan or line of credit. Let's say 6.99, hypothetically speaking, right? You also want to double check the on their website, on the dealership website. Okay. All right. But I would also double check with your bank if you can get better rates. Okay. Unless you have an existing line of credit or equity line of credit. Taxes, can't negotiate that. Try to pay the taxes. Take it off. Take it off. Pay cash. Pay it cash. You don't want to finance taxes, guys. If you can, right? If you can, take it off. If you can afford paying cash for the taxes. And then you're going to notice a significant change after you make your offer. Okay. Now, they're going to tell you, give us a credit card. You can tell them, sure. And then they're going to tell you, and you can ask them, oh, are you guys going to take any money off the credit card? They're going to say no, right? And that's true, guys. When we take the credit card with your offer, sometimes the manager would keep the credit card in their office. When the salesman come back to you, tell them, give me my credit card back or I'm walking away. you should be serious when saying that, guys. I know I'm a little bit aggressive, but hey, this is why sometimes I tell people, like, if you want to hire me, I'm all up for it. If not, just try to be as serious as you can and as confident as you can. Not too much aggressive, but you can still be a little bit aggressive. It's okay, you know, aggressive, little firm, you know what I mean, direct. Okay, so now, you guys getting me excited right now. Excuse me. So yeah, he's coming back with a counter offer. They're gonna come back with a counter offer. Because they're going to tell you, oh, Mr. Customer, you're crazy, right? That's really what they're saying in the manager office, right? When they come back first, make sure you have your credit card with you. So make sure that salesperson give you the credit card. And tell them, of course, they haven't taken any money from them, any money from the credit card. I'm sure they're not going to take any, because the only moment they will take money from the credit card if they swipe it, or if they present you with the POS, right, the point of sale, like the actual device, so they can, they can take your deposit, right? All right, so they're gonna come back with a counter, right, dealer counter. Now, if they sat too long, guys, more than like few minutes in the manager office, you tell them, go walk to the manager desk and tell them, hey, I'm going to walk away right now. You guys are taking too long. Depends. You know, sometimes the manager would be like, will try to, you know, trying to really push and squeeze every dollar and try to get you the final deal. But this is what you should do. All right. So, at the end of the day, after you negotiate all of that, guys, so let's say you're at the final step, you negotiate all of that. Tell them, okay, they're going to tell you, okay, well, let's say they counter and then you counter and then you get yourself a deal. Now, after getting the deal, tell them, okay, now I need you to get me a 5 years and 5.5 and 6 years. Okay. And tell them, get me those payments based on our deal that we discussed. So take off all these warranties, right? Okay, then they will present the numbers for you. Right, and this is when you will tell them, okay, so I want you to bring me a breakdown sheet. So another breakdown sheet, guys, that shows the final offer, that the one you and the salesperson agreed upon. So remember, you have to ask for a breakdown sheet at the end. Okay, don't forget that. And then off this new breakdown sheet, tell them to show you the numbers. Okay. And this is when you still are, when you're in the finance office, you're still going to go and discuss the warranties if you want a warranty. And that would depends on how many years you're going to keep the car for. So we can discuss this later, right, in a different video. So things like I said, I will upload this to the channel. I actually created this myself today. So things like, client, don't say things to the salesperson, right? The moment you say, don't mention your trade, right? If you have a trade, you can negotiate the trade after the fact you've negotiated the original deal, right? Which is the car that you're buying. Then you can add the trade. And I'll tell you guys how to, you know, negotiate the trade in a different video. Don't say what's your budget, right? This is a trap from the salesman. They want to really gauge where you're going to be at. Tell them, you know what, I don't know my budget yet. I just want to see what's out there, and show me what you got. Try to cut it short sometime. Try to cut it short. Now, these are the questions, like I was saying, you should be asking. Okay. And I'm going to quickly go over them, guys. So, client questions. What is the interest rate, right? We've discussed that one. What is the report for the reconditioning? Or, you know, where is the report for the reconditioning, right? So, and how much did you guys spend on the car? They should show you a breakdown sheet, guys, where literally, like, it should show you the measure of the tires. Out of 10, is this tire like 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10? Same with the brakes. How good are the brakes? How good are the rotors? Okay. So it should be a very detailed report. Don't just go with what they say, because you can also use some of that to negotiate the price. You can tell them, oh my, I'm going to be expected to replace the tires in the next 4 months, 3 months. Yes, it passed safety today, but in 3 months I'm going to be replacing the tires. Like, are you guys kidding me right now? You guys put a new tire on this vehicle and I'll buy it for that offer we agreed on, right? Who owned the car before me, right? So you want to ask this to the salesman. It's not necessary that the salesman is going to be, or saleswoman is going to be honest about that. You can check that in the Carfax. So I'll do a whole different video in the Carfax another time. What is the rust protection? Why is your price higher than others? I looked online. So you can use this all during your negotiation. The cash price, which is what we've kind of discussed, the breakdown sheet. It's not a cash price, but it's a breakdown of what are you paying for any item you're paying for. Nope. Okay. I know you guys, took it for 3K less. What are you selling it for? And why are you overcharging? So this really shows that you are familiar with the car industry, because they buy the car from you at a wholesale price. When I say they buy a car from you, like they bought the car from the previous customer, right? So you tell them, oh, this Camry that I'm buying today, you guys are selling it for that, 33,999. I know you guys probably took it in for 30 grand, right? Now, what you're doing right now, you're just telling them, I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, can I take the car to my mechanic, right? Some customers will take the car to the mechanic. Some salespeople will say no, to be honest, because it could be a waste of their time. Some dealerships would allow customers to take the dealership to the mechanic. I would recommend bringing your own mechanic, okay? In the finance office, I had a situation with a customer where basically, the customer was my friend, and he told me that, and I knew that because I worked in the lending department. But when I worked in the lending department, I could not imagine even me doing this with a customer. So this is what happened with this guy, right? He went in, and the lady offered him, the guy offered financing the car at a lower rate, but they have to buy the warranty. Can you imagine, guys, like what these salespeople are doing, or sales manager, the finance manager? That's called tight selling. That's illegal. So you need to be aware as a consumer. You tell that to the finance manager. This sounds like tight selling to me. You guys are advertising that rate. I qualify for that rate. It got nothing to do with the warranty. That is a tight selling, and that's illegal. If you want my business, remove the warranty. I want to stick to my rate, the 5.99 or 6.99, the prime rate, and call it a day. If you guys can't do it, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to report this to the provincial regulator, because this is illegal. You're putting pressure, but you're also saying the truth. This is the truth. What they're doing is tight selling. So yeah, that's what I was saying, right? There should be no conditions when it comes to finance. They cannot have a warranty product or any finance product they sell tied to the rate. They cannot do that. Illegal. Tight selling. Okay, last point. Why you're not including the reconditioning fee, right? So this is what I was talking about here in the selling price. Okay. Now, obviously, it's better, guys, that you try to get the deal done over the phone. Some of the questions you can use with a salesperson. I'm buying this car today. I already driven it. I know I want it. I want to make sure I'm getting the best deal on it. Here's my offer. Go to your manager and let me know if they're going to entertain that offer or not. So we're not wasting each other's time here. I'm buying the car today. There is your vehicle and there's a different vehicle at a different dealership. Here's the deal that I'm looking at. And you can verbally tell them. If they ask you, oh, can you bring us paperwork? They're like, okay, I'll bring you the paperwork. But what I want first, so you're not wasting my time, can your manager entertain my offer? I have $2,500 off, blah, blah, blah. And you can say what your offer is to the salesperson and say, okay, talk to your manager, let them know, and let's see if they're going to entertain the offer or not. Okay. When I said take the sheet home, take this home. Sleep on it, guys. Sleep on it. Unless you really, really want the car and it's a used car and you really want to get it done. This is where, like, I mean, again, I can teach you guys everything, but your experience and the way you negotiate is not going to be like the one who've done the job for over 6 years, right? So I'm still gonna tell you guys the best, ways to do and to say things. Try to take a picture of the breakdown sheet, guys. Take a quick picture. Just take a picture. If they tell you, oh, it's illegal, oh, our store policy, who cares? Just pull your phone and take a picture. Done. Finish. Yeah, that's why I was talking about consultant expert. Okay, okay. The rest we're almost done here, guys. So what would be here? We already discussed this. So yeah, red flags, right? Those are some of the red flags. I'll be talking about in a different video, guys. But those red flags basically are important to know and to watch for and to observe. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you buy your next used car with confidence, and you know how to negotiate, what to do, what not to do, how to demonstrate to the salesperson and the dealership that you're a capable buyer and you're able to get this vehicle at the price that is the fair price, so they don't overcharge you. Right, Sharif here from Negotiation Desk Drive Away. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Thank you for watching and have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care and enjoy your Saturday, guys. Woohoo!